A vision. All it took was a vision to make Damien see the errors of his ways. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys my review on issue 38 of Teen Titans Seize Your Destiny. And yeah, that definitely can go in favor with what we got in this issue. Seize Your Destiny, and you could kind of say it was something like that, albeit a little different than what people might have expected and stuff. And yeah, let's just say that at the ending of this, it looks like this team's finally starting to try to be even better and realize more than ever that they need to start acting like a team more. But it's really a Damien focus issue that really shows a side to Damien that you really don't get to see too much of. You might have seen it hints here and there since the Teen Titans run, or for that matter, Adam Glass's starting run on the Teen Titans. But this has got to be the most biggest part about him that we've seen of humanity is the best maybe way to put it, or maybe not. But you guys probably try to get what I'm saying that we've ever seen of Damien. And yeah, I am like most people out there. I don't like how writers who get to take on Damian Wayne are always regressing him back to kind of how he was when we first were introduced to him. It's almost like some of these writers never showed read his development as a character from people like Tomasi's run, Grant Morrison's run, and stuff like that. And yeah, some would say that about Adam Glass too, but in this one, I kind of defend Adam Glass because I don't know if he has read any of Tomasi or Grant Morrison or any of the other runs Damian Wayne's been in. But when you look at the DC universe with what it is now, the people that made Damian have that more of a humanity, sanity spot to him, they're all gone. And with them all gone, well, what's there left for Damien? Pretty much nobody. I mean, these new Titans are more like teammates, still working on that whole thing of trying to be friends, which was introduced to us at the ending of this here issue to show that it looks like they're going down that route. But other than that, it didn't really show much. But if even still, though, you can kind of say the other, along with Djinn, helped Damien realize something that was pretty clear. Now, as y'all know, he's been trying to find a better way to stop crime all completely. But as we all know, that's not possible. I mean, yes, we wish we could stop crime, but that's just not possible. That's the world we live in. And yeah, it's messed up, yeah, but what can you do? But let's go into the chapter. So, y'all remember that Other was making an offer to Damien to join him and actually control crime instead of trying to stop it. At least that was Other's idea. Damien wants to stop it, but Other wants to control it. And as y'all know, the Other is the heretic, the clone of Damien. And here we actually end up learning of something here. Something that could even entice Damien even more. And that was that Other activated Djinn. Yeah, he activated Djinn's ring, which is something Damien's been trying to do, but hasn't been able to do. And the reason he has is because of this. A new item that's obviously going to play an intangible role going forward with the next story arc. It's called the Book of Damn. I wonder where that book came from and stuff, but the very title of it, wow. You can just tell that thing means trouble. But this was used as leverage to try to prove to Damien that if he joins, then his team will join and they can get Djinn out of the ring. And he proves it by telling them how he was able to activate it and how Damien can get Djinn out of the ring. He puts it on his head and we find Damien inside Djinn's ring. And this is where it led into him finding her in her so-called prison that she's told Damien about. And here's what a funny Easter egg goes off on from it, and that is in the fact that Djinn calls this her purgatory. Ain't that an Easter egg moment? Not from Crisis on Infinite Earth we just had with Oliver's own purgatory? How quaint. But in either case, excuse me. Either case, going straight back into it, this actually led into a very, very touching moment between the two. Now, I'm sure most of y'all have noticed how there's always been signs that there might be a little spark of romance here between these two. And yeah, there was something showing in of that, especially when Damien was letting her know about the other and about how he's made him an offer to become the other so he could set Djinn free. And Djinn, I last thought that she wouldn't trust anyone, and that's not necessarily it after what happened. Now, when she was under control of Roundhouse, she ended up hearing everything he said, and because of all that they were doing, like wiping out those villains' minds and stuff, and everything else that they've done, she felt awful about it and felt like maybe she should belong in her ring. Maybe this prison is her punishment for everything she's done. Not just with what she's done with the Titans, but what she's done in the past. Like she feels like still that even if she was under control, she still did it. And she feels ashamed of it and thinks it's better that she stays in here. But it's shown here that Robin doesn't think that's true. And he believes that everything he's doing for him and all the Titans and stuff. And of course, Djinn says she knows. But still, when in the end, Djinn told him that he shouldn't be the other just to free her, because a sacrifice like that's not worth it. And that's when it shocked Damien, because he's saying, like, you expect me to just not take the offer of the other and leave you in this hell? And yeah, just look at Jinn's eyes. It hurts her to say that, because she can tell Robin really cares about her and he wants to do anything he can to save her. But it's showing here at least that Djinn knows that while it's great of him that he cares about her and that she's found someone that cares about him so much, her so much, she doesn't want him to go down that road of being the other, even if it means her being put in prison, even though it'll hurt Damien. But to convince him more is where I talked about what happened at the intro of my video. And that was her showing a vision of Damien if he becomes the other. And he says it was everything he ever wanted. And after that, he gets back into the real world, and instead of actually accepting the other's offer after what he saw, he admitted that it's everything he ever pictured. But that's when he said, like, he can't accept it. Yes. He actually rejects it, which is good. That was great. And I was happy that Damien rejected it. And it's funny, though. You would think that everything Damien has done, you would have thought that he would have known all this time, though, that he shouldn't have been doing all this. But no, it's a vision had to be shown to him. Especially, I guess you could say that's the way of Adam Glass showing Damien that continue to go down this dark path and it'll get worse for you, that it's too late to come back from it. Who'd have thunk it all from that? But it's because of that, well, the other, along with all the other clones of Heretic, decide that if Damien's not going to join them, then they'll just have to destroy him. But luckily, the rest of the Titans showed up, and they all worked together to defeat the other. Yeah, they showed up, got Djinn's ring, and then they all started beating on Damien's clones, which, by the way, Crush mentioned how she's always wanted to beat him up, which is no shocker there. So if she can't beat up the real Robin, at least she can take on this other Robin, this clone of Robin. But you guys are probably wondering, how did the Titans get to him? Well, this is where I'm going to go into a spot where Roundhouse explained to him how he found him. First off, he explained how he was able to find the underground prison of Damien's underground prison back in Mercy Hall. It turns out he put a tracker on Kid Flash, so when Kid Flash found out about the prison, he found out about the prison. And then he went into his whole discussion about how he went back to the tower, looked into Damien's computer to find out where everyone was, used his jet to get there, and this is where he had to actually go into his apology scene right here. Which, by the way, I love the art part, especially right here where their reflections are off that water right there, that sewer water. That was really impressive. And I also liked how Roundhouse was really trying to show he sincerely was apologizing. And of course, And of course, yeah, some would think after what he did, words aren't enough and stuff, but we'll get into that here in a minute. But still, it was great of him to admit that what he did was wrong, immature, and how he went about everything else, even if his reasonings may have been understandable, with trying to make everyone realize what Damien was doing. Even still, though. But it's glad that he at least know the errors of his way, and just like and after, well, really, the team had finally defeated all the heretics, or AKA the others. They were able to take away the Book of Damn, and it was right here that instead of when Roundhouse was going to try to explain that he understands if you guys still need to punish him, Damien instead said, no, you're nothing to apologize for, because we all have made mistakes, and we all haven't really been acting like a team lately. And that's true. They kind of haven't really been acting much like a team ever since the Terminus agenda, really. They've all kind of been going back and forth on their whole drama and karma of bad karma around, and it's nice to finally realize that, yeah, if we all made mistakes here, and if we're all just going to keep holding ourselves to it, how are we ever going to be a better team? And that's true. But of course, Crush also makes a point that, yeah, they're no team without Djinn. And of course, Robin agrees. So that means they're going to have to do the one thing that no doubt Djinn might be mad at, because she's been doing everything she can to avoid him. And that's the beginning of the Djinn War as they start to go for Elias. They're going to find Elias, get him to get Djinn out of her ring, and stop Elias once and for all. So, this is all going to lead into the Djinn story, which will be the last story arc that, sadly, Adam Glass will be doing. But the saddest part for this issue, this will be the last one. Benrard Chang, an artist I have become a very big fan of ever since I started reading this chapter and seeing his art and all those structures and layout he's done of it. I've just been falling in love with his art. He still will be around for some of the cover arts, mind you, but as for like the art of the story, that's being passed on to someone named Eduardo. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but I'll see what his art is like. I mean, will it be better than Benrard Chang's? I don't know, because the world is big out there with artists, and they all have their different sorts of styles that some of us like, some of us dislike, but all I'm saying is I'm going to miss Benrard Chang as the artist for the story. At least in a way, though, he's still with us with the cover arts. And as for like Adam Glass, this will be the last story arc for him, the Djinn War. But he's going to be co-writing it with a guy named Robbie Thompson. Yeah, Thompson. So, yeah, Adam Glass and great, just Robbie Thompson. I'm sorry, guys. I just went, as a friend of mine would say, brain fart for a minute there. But either case, those two will be co-writing on the Djinn War. We'll see how this leads, and well, I'm guessing this Robert Johnson guy will be the one to take over the helms for Adam Glass after this one. And all I say is I hope he stays with the roster of Teen Titans we have right now. Let's not go back to Starfire, Raven, Beast Boy, and all of them. They're grown up now. They're part of Titans. Let's get a new generation of Teen Titans here. And because I've really been enjoying this new roster here, and I can't wait to see what more they'll go with when they no doubt looks like now they'll become an even better team after this Djinn War. But now that I've said all that, I'm going to end it all at that for today. And one more thing, if I'm going to give this issue, I would give it an 8 out of 10. The only part I have to say it's my gripe about it is that the showdown with the other didn't exactly go as down as hopefully as I planned, like a grand thing. But sometimes I think we just think too much or expect too much of it, when really we shouldn't really expect all that much of it. But it still was good for what it was. But until then, guys, if you're enjoying my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified when I make more videos. And until then, MegaGeekMixer signing out. Bye!